Lord. I may have woken up like an hour ago and then decided, hey, why not just stream? But, I mean, you don't have any proof of that, so. Alright. I'm going to focus on some character quests I have that I haven't done, and then I think, well, it's Monday, so the week stuff just reset. I'm gonna do that first, and then I'm gonna do the character quests. Because I need to do, let me see, whose do I need to do? I need to do Lynette's, Emily's, Sino's, and then Arlecchino's. I took a little break from the game a while back, and I haven't done any of the new quests. What is this? Oh. Okay. Need to go to Inazuma. I think I'm actually really close to getting the last reputation thing I need for Inazuma. Maybe? Pretty please? Let me get a look-see. I am! I'm at level 10. I'm at level 9. But no, because I've already claimed level 9 stuff, so I'm on level 10. I'm on the road to level 10. Dude! I'm not gonna get it this week, but... Yay!
Bow your head. Settle down.
There we go. That's that bounty complete. Trying out a new playlist for the music, and I'm hoping that it doesn't have too many ads, because I'm just doing it on YouTube. So I also don't know if this is gonna, like, get flagged for copyright. It shouldn't, because it's on YouTube. I tried doing, like, a playlist that was on Spotify one time, and it flagged, like, one song that I played for 0.5 seconds got flagged for copyright. Ouch. So I don't use Spotify anymore. I'm certainly gonna get like over halfway to level 10. Unfortunately, I have done literally everything in my Inazuma except for like a couple quests, but those are daily quest reliant / I haven't looked into how to do them.
Silence. Be sanctified.
Ouch. I wasn't paying attention. That's the only reason you had the upper hand on me, dude. Hope you know that. Hey, what the hell? That's cheating. Raising your health mid-battle is cheating for you, not for me. I am but a humble hypocrite. See, we're already at 380. That's all done. And then we've got 3 daily quests that give me 40 each. I have 4 left, but this one is daily quest reliant. So is this one, sort of. And then I just haven't looked into these two. I think you need to do certain quests. Among Thieves, Ushui. None of these are the daily quests I need. So let me go to Kitty Shrine. What, you don't have a quest for me today, dude? What? Alright, fine. I didn't want to do a quest with you anyway, Nico. Wow, now I'm broke. Now I don't have any eggs left. Get a load of this guy. Can't believe this. Why? They're just having fun. They're just having a fun time. Why do I have to beat them up? They're just being little guys. Try me. Try me. Try me. Oh. Whoa, hey, what's... Ooh! I love pyro, abyss mages. My least favorite is hydro.
bow your head.
Our lucky day. To the ferry. Finally, how's this?
Ah!
To the ferry. Finally,
Let the mighty be humble.
to the ferry. To the ferry.
Ew! Yeah, no. What's my reputation at now? Like, what's the frickin' point percentage? $500. Okay. Let me figure out these quests. Okay. That one I can't do right now. Eating well is a... Okay, well, I was looking at that before you opened up an ad. Eating well is a world quest in Inazuma and the 5th quest in the World Quest series Gourmet Supremos. Okay. I'm going like all the way back to the beginning for the Gourmet Supremos. Okay, that's an Archon quest, so I have already done that. Okay, the start location for this one. Excuse me. It's over here. Definitely done this one. Okay. So now, Shrines of Sakura. Where does this one start?
Water comes in many flavors to the silence.
It automatically starts upon completing the Gourmet Assemble. Alright. I will figure this quest out because I don't think it's daily quest reliant. And if it is, I somehow have not stumbled upon the exact quest I need, and I got back into playing this like maybe 2-3 weeks ago. So you've got plenty. It had plenty of chances of popping up. Okay. Definitely already have that one done. Wait, why don't I go here? No, because it only says... I don't know if the other ones are on the list. They should be. Oh!
They are the pride of Fontaine.
Lucas, thank
Be
you for
sure
the
to
follow.
Cause them no
Yay, follower girl met! Oh. Never mind. Okay, they do pop up. So it is... I've completed Gourmet Supremos on the road. Okay, how... To obtain the quest, the player must complete the Xianling version of the commission to Gourmet Supremos Breakthrough. It is a daily commission! Dang it! Okay, so I need to wait for the daily commission Gourmet Supremos Breakthrough thinking for this one. And what about storytelling method? Upon the completion of commissions, the novel seems familiar and the novel seems problematic. Do I have those done? Are they on here? Did I scroll past them? They don't appear to be on here. It's a daily commission. Yeah, all the last quests that I need to complete for Inazuma are behind daily commissions. Which is awesome. I love that. And are any of these daily commissions the one I need? No. Alright. Wait until next day at 7 o'clock. Oh, I have an achievement. What did I get an achievement for? Awesome.
You gotta hear about this. Go from idea to illustration faster with generative AI and Adobe Illustrator.
Sorry. Yeah.
I believe this cat belongs to me.
Oh, let me go to auto.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Just take a breather, you two. Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you. At least for now.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important business, so I came to retrieve her in his stead.
No. It's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society. Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime. Well, this complicates things.
I told you before. This is my friend's cat. It's normal for her not to trust me.
Listen, I'm the director of the Humane Society, okay? We've got so many strays, dogs, cats, you name it. I'm not even the one feeding them most of the time. You can hardly expect the cat to recognize me. She just looked somewhat familiar, so I came to check, just in case. If she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. Simple as that. Even if that's not the case, the Humane Society could still take her in, if no one else comes to claim her, that is. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
I think she wants us to believe it belongs to her friend.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
Yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
Oh
What are you
crap.
talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Oh crap.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here, Bonnie, what's her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird, so I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him. The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that he would show himself, I had to follow up on the lead. A new
Makes
kind of
sense, I
illegal
guess.
drug, imitation synth. We confiscated all the synth on the market, but addiction isn't something that goes away overnight. Even without substances on the market, people are still looking for a way to get their next fix. And criminals are all too eager to capitalize on that addiction. That was the impetus for imitation synth. Needless to say, a small-scale market opened up very quickly. After the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar incidents from occurring. The perpetrators got smart, though, and shifted their sales overseas before those measures could kick in. That's when the imitation synth smuggling began. We only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. What we were able to find out, however, hasn't proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable.
I need to turn up the voices when I can. I can hardly hear her.
He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name is Pierre. Pierre Lafayette, to be exact.
Lafayette.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him.
Epic.
First, there wasn't much cause for suspicion. A search of his house didn't reveal much to go off of either. The Marechaussee Phantom very nearly left it at that. It was only later that we realized the coat of arms on his pendant belonged to none other than the Lafayette family, one of the most infamous aristocratic families in Fontaine. Obviously, this discovery prompted a further investigation into Pierre. At that point, however, we discovered that he'd already fled. Now the guards and the Special Patrol are all searching for him.
That's not possible, actually. The Lafayette family has been gone for a long time.
Exactly. Many years ago, several important members of the family, including the patriarch, were murdered by an assassin of unknown origin.
Damn.
From that point on, the family's power and influence took quite the hit. The family is engaged in all manner of crimes. As you can imagine, there's no shortage of people waiting in the wings to take their revenge. And with the family severely weakened, they were able to do just that. Most of the remaining family members succumbed to sickness or hunger. The ones that survived are currently living out their days under a new identity. Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. His true identity unbeknownst to all. Until now, that is. Well, my fellow guards have told me all about how smart and courageous you both are. And I know you possess a strong sense of justice.
Stop with the flat.
There could be a chance that Pierre, or one of his
It's too
accomplices,
much.
might attempt to get close to Bonnie. Now that you've been briefed on the situation, I was hoping you'd help us keep a lookout. If I take Bonnie back to the guards with me, there's no way Pierre will try and come for her. Not even the most daring of criminals would attempt something like that. I have to admit, I'm not holding out too much hope that Pierre will come back for her. But if there's even the slightest chance, then it's worth a shot.
I'd come back for my cat, wanted criminal or not.
If Pierre does appear, please contact me right away.
Maybe that's why I could never be a wanted criminal. What's wrong?
It's nothing. I'm fine. It's just... the head of the Lefebvre family. He was the eminent person who kidnapped me all those years ago.
Oh.
Was at a dinner party. Someone tricked me into boarding the Lefebvre family carriage.
Oh.
Whoever it was, they took me back to their home.
Oh.
But before anything worse could happen, Father intervened.
Good.
Yep. Father was the one who orchestrated the fall of the Lefebvre family.
Oh.
That's what led Lenny and I to join the House of the Hearth.
Talk about a vengeful
After all
parent.
these years. Don't worry about me. I wasn't feeling sorry for myself. I was just thinking about Lenny. He's been acting strange recently. He avoids me for days on end, consumes himself with some secret investigation, and then out of the blue pushes me to do that acting job. Thinking about it now, it's almost like the one I drew from that deck of cards was part of his plan all along. He must have asked Fremonade to help him out.
He rigged it!
In any case, I know he's hiding something from me. He's really pulled out all the stops this time. It's very possible. I'm sure he tried to send me away because he was afraid it would bring up some painful memories for me. It wasn't necessary, though. Even after all these years, he's still as overprotective as ever. You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we run into him along the way. Yep. I want to head to the Fontaine Research Institute to learn more information about Pierre. Just let me activate search mode and then we'll head out. Who knows? Maybe we'll run into Linny along the way. A little bit of both, perhaps. For the most part, though, I just have the sense that something's not right. Something isn't adding up about Pierre's story. I'm just not sure what. Okay, I'll write a letter explaining everything to the crew. Once that's done, we can head out.
Okay. I'll be back in a second because I didn't get anything to eat before I decided to start streaming. So I'm gonna go get something. I will be right back.
Everywhere I go, every smile I see, I know you are there, smiling back at me, dancing in moonlight. I know you are free.
What happens when you drink Rise Mushroom Coffee? First, you start to feel your mood shift. That's a reishi mushroom, a superfood mood booster that reduces stress. Feel your shoulders drop. Then you start to feel a calm, level-headed focus. That's lion's mane. Time to lock in. Then these turkey tails kick in, helping you feel lighter. Coffee without a stomachache or bloat? Huge. Shiitakes keep you feeling healthy, king trumpets help with overall longevity, and cordyceps bring you that boost of energy you love, without the jitters that come with regular coffee. So what happens when you drink Rise Mushroom Coffee? Your day gets better. A lot better. And who doesn't want better to start right now?
I'm back. Sorry. Had to make something. But I'm back. And I'm actively running away. Let's bring out Lenny, or Lynette. Because I'm doing her character quest, and also she can run real fast.
Step on up.
Where am I going? Alright, so I'm not walking all the way there. I'm just gonna teleport. So I made Hot Pockets. And they didn't come with the little covers that they usually do.
Not at rehearsal?
You can drop the act, brother. In fact, I don't think either of us will have a need for acting anytime soon. You should know better than to try and keep something from me. You've never been able to do that, even when we were kids.
You're in trouble.
That's why I tried to distract you with the masked mime show. But I guess you're just too good.
Care to introduce us to your new assistant?
This is Officer Shovras, captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol. You may have met her already.
Nice to see you. I should clarify something. Mr. Lenny's here at my invitation, not the other way around. To borrow your expression, Miss Lynette, I suppose that would make him my assistant more than anything. We've brought on Mr. Lenny as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a perpetrator who used
I
magic
forgot
tricks
to
commit crimes.
raise the volume.
I was
Hang
hoping
on.
he'd be able to
I cannot do that from within a dialogue. Crap.
So you've heard everything then?
That's exactly why we're here. There's always been questions surrounding the fall of the Lefebvre family. Some people even believe the House of the Hearth was involved. Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that harbinger. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to deduce that there's ill will between you two. Don't worry, I don't have any evidence to that effect, and I certainly don't plan on going to bat for such a despicable family. Plus, you were victims back then more than anything. I sought Mr. Lenny's help with the smuggling case. Nothing more. The way I look at it, it's a collaboration between us as people, not the organizations we represent. Besides, by working together, we can expose the truth as quickly as possible. You can hardly say that's at odds with the justice my organization strives for.
Why is my mic making that noise? Is my mic making a weird noise? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. I'm just getting like this weird feedback from my my mic for some reason.
Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections. Lenny, I'm not the same person I was back then. That little girl who did nothing but
Yeah,
power
stand up for yourself, Lynette. Go off.
I'm sorry, Lynette. You're right. I let my concerns get the better of me.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie. Well,
Didn't
if there
this
are no
heart
objections, then I suppose the
thing
only
only
thing
come
left
into
to
play
say
with like
is,
one of these
Lynette,
character
Traveler,
quests?
welcome to the team.
It appears the Lefebvre family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems. The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate child.
Whoa! I didn't think we'd see that word in Genshin Impact.
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions. But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their formal investigation into Pierre. Unfortunately, that also included reporting any relevant information to the higher authorities. As for his family background, it appears none of his co-workers at the Institute were aware of that information. All they could tell us was that he was quite the recluse. Other than the pendant, we didn't find anything else of note at his residence in Poisson. Based on the samples of imitation synth we've been able to analyze, it appears the substance leaves behind strong traces wherever it's produced or stored. Those traces might not be obvious to the casual observer, but they're not something our guard poodles would miss. Pierre's home, though,
I'm sorry.
completely clean.
Poodles is such an interesting thing to have as a guard dog.
In overseas transactions either. So, the Marechaussee Phantom didn't view him as a major suspect at first.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he made the imitation synth.
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town. If his reclusive nature was just a matter of keeping a low profile, I guess it would make sense for him to have a secret base to carry out his business.
After he disappeared, the guards conducted a thorough search of Poisson, but they didn't come across any suspicious locations.
Well, it's probably not in Poisson.
You know Hotel de Boer, where I first found Bonnie?
Wait, are we gonna...
To get there from Poisson, you have to cross a stretch of ocean. It's not somewhere a cat could just wander off on its own.
Never mind, I was thinking of a different thing. I was thinking of the Spina.
Bonnie is Pierre's cat.
Oh, that's right! When the Marechaussee Phantom first tracked him down, I remember there being something about a cat in their report. So this is her?
From what we've learned about
Yup.
Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Wait, you think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
Lynette could try.
Meow. Meow meow. Meow. Near the coast, beach, beneath the cliffs. The place we're looking for is most likely north of the Court of Fontaine.
Well, I've certainly never taken a witness statement like this before.
Well, if it works out, maybe it's something worth getting used to.
Cats and humans are actually pretty alike. When it comes to communication, most of what we want to convey can be accomplished through body language alone. But humans tend to rely too much on speech to ever take advantage of that fact. Of course, body language has its limitations. You're not going to be able to get across anything too complicated.
The important thing is that we now have a lead. Let's try and find a place that matches the clues Bonnie gave us.
Okay, hang on. Before I do anything, Dialogue volume's at max. Maybe I should just set my volume up.
Rainy days are perfect for spacing out.
Let's see how that sounds.
Seems like Bonnie is trying to take us somewhere.
Much better. Bonnie! Girl, it's raining. Go!
Gardamex ahead.
Look out!
Justice is blindsided.
Ouch.
Settle down. The time
Oh no.
There's a tear in my robe.
It's so inconspicuous.
Wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily.
You couldn't.
If I thought there was any
There's
chance
nothing
you'd say
around
yes,
for miles.
recruit you into the
It
special
sticks
patrol
out like
here
a
and
sore
now.
thumb.
No questions asked.
Sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters
Sorry.
daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
Aha! Just as we thought. This is where the imitation synth was being made. Looks like he's got more than just imitation synths stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm sure that was the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
The material these bags are made of, it's quite rare. It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber. But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant. Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less durable as well. Very similar, actually. Normally, it would be easy for a guard poodle to sniff out the imitation synth, but if it was sealed away in a bag like that, it might be possible to elude detection for some time. But what could these big bags be for then? If the goal is to keep the imitation synth hidden and sealed away, these bags seem a bit too conspicuous.
I mean, let's be honest. This whole location seems a bit too conspicuous. It's like 2 miles from the city.
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house, there was no sign of these barrels, right? You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. How did he get them here then? Only the lower halves of the barrels appear to have been submerged in water.
Based on the various ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles. But if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
The barrels we found were wet around the base, but the top half was dry. As if they'd been standing upright in the water. If you put a barrel in the water, it will normally float on its side. Unless it's heavily loaded, in which case it'll sink.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water. And then he could afford to load them more fully.
Alright, that just looks stupid.
You think he used floating barrels? I suppose if he acted at night, when there are very few other boats around and visibility is low, it's a valid theory. We can't rule it out.
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Traveler, can you come take a dip in the sea with me? I have a feeling that somewhere down there, we might find some rope. If a rope can be used to keep a pet from running away, then why not a barrel?
Oh, fair point.
The wreckage of a small boat?
Oh, I'm sorry.
This isn't the place.
Okay, I'm just going to where the glowing piles tell me.
This isn't the place.
Lynette! Lynette, please! Give me something to go off of, girl! I'm trying! You're giving me nothing. Oh my god! Holy crap! Why are they so strong? Oh my god, why are they so strong? Holy crap. Oh god, I'm gonna fall over like a... Boom. Dang. Oh, there she goes. Oh, there we go. That's how that's the money. Oh, but I've run into a fatal flaw. All my characters have died. Okay. He's back to full health. Watcha! No, wait, I didn't do it in time? Charge up again. Okay. I'm seeing. This is very off subject of what we need to be doing, but also... I'm not gonna be able to get anything done with these two beasts here. No. 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 Get wrecked. No. Crap. No, that's gonna reset their health. Oh. Yep, look at that. Full health. Christ. You just gotta be good at evading, I guess, and I'm not good at evading. Yeah! Get wrecked! Yeah, I wouldn't have been able to find this if those two weren't dead.
Got it. Time to go up and report.
Whee! Whee!
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this. With this anchoring system, it would be possible to use floating barrels for the drop-off. You would just need to drop them in the water at the agreed-upon location. We also came across the wreckage of a small boat. It must have been left out on the water and capsized due to the force of the wind and waves. Its small size, however, would have made it perfect for staying undetected.
Let's talk this through. Based on the evidence we've collected, it seems like
it could be that he was trying to avoid meeting up with his associate face to face. As one of the sole survivors of the Lefebvre family, maybe he was just used to that sort of elusive lifestyle.
It seems like Pierre deliberately chose the floating barrel method so that the goods could be dropped off and picked up at separate times. That way, the two parties wouldn't have to meet each other.
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that
nothing about this guy's approach has been inconspicuous so far.
Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth.
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border. You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections. Exactly. We can't let any opportunities slip through the cracks. Although, given the amount of ports that could be involved, we should probably split up.
I'll run home and ask some of my brothers and sisters to try and dig up some information.
I should also head back and update my platoon on our progress. I'll grab some reinforcements while I'm at it. Lynette, Traveler, why don't you head to Lumiduce Harbor and see what you can find out?
All right. Come on, Bonnie. You too.
Okay. To the harbor. Ow. I was like, where's that new section of Leeway? That, like, new. Because it's the most recent section of Leeway. And I was like, why can't I see it right there? It should be there. That's right there. What is that? Oh, it's probably this.
Oh, Lynette, Traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
Oh. You see, thank you for everything you're doing for the people of Fontaine. I'm in charge of guarding the port. You mentioned you were after some travelogues, right? I can go fetch those for you.
Looks like I've got another hard day of work ahead of me. No, not usually. It's this incident that happened recently. Before that, everything was normal. All we had to do was confiscate anything suspicious and we could call it a day. Pretty simple stuff. But things are much more complicated now. We somehow let suspicious cargo pass through the port undetected. Not even our guard poodles were able to sniff it out. Even worse, we still don't know how the perpetrator was able to conceal the goods so well.
It's okay.
Suspicious cargo, do you mean imitation synth? Yep. However, prohibited substances are just one example. We confiscate all sorts of contraband during the course of our inspections. Or at least, we're supposed to.
So what happens to the goods you confiscate?
Oh, we keep them in a storage locker. If they turn out to be something particularly dubious, we'll turn them over to the Maison Orderly. If the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travelogues for all the recent activity at the port.
Woof.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. It's like he smells something on me. Huh. I wonder why Gerard is reacting to you two so strongly.
were so careful not to touch it, but we still ended up with traces on us. If it leaves a residue so easily, I just don't understand how the culprit was able to disguise the goods at all.
Why don't you have a look at the travel logs first? All ships coming in and out of the port are recorded here, except for the ones the port authorities write to and from work.
Dude! Was that guy, the guy who said he was from the Humane Society? It was him!
Their name is
I'm calling it right now. Is him.
The purpose for leaving is always listed as overseas adoption.
Ah, the director of the organization explained that actually. He said a lot of the cat and dog breeds unique to Fontaine are also very popular overseas. So, his organization offers an overseas adoption program.
Bernard, the director of the Humane Society, was the man who came looking for Bonnie earlier. Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant.
He's been putting it in their actual bodies?
There were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water. Those drug shovers found at the secret base. She most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals. Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then, he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss. She's probably in the clear. Otherwise, Bernard would have never left without her. I'm guessing he didn't know whether Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth before he fled. Just imagine. He sees the notice we put in the Steambird, and it turns out that one of the very cats he gave to Pierre for the smuggling operation is out in the open, roaming the streets of Fontaine. If Pierre had already hidden the next batch of imitation synth, then Bonnie would practically be living proof of their crimes. He would have had no choice but to go after her.
So, that's why he came to find you and insisted on taking a closer look at the cat.
Wait a second, I'm a little lost here. I get the part about hiding the substance in the pets, but those, what did you call them again? Floating barrels? Why even put the animals in there in the first place? If you've got something as convenient as a floating barrel, why not just stuff it with the imitation synth directly? Why not wait to hide the stuff until after the exchange has been made?
In order to make sure the animals could swallow the sealed bags, they made them extremely thin. Had they not done that, the animals would have likely bitten or chewed through them. that step would have required a lot of energy, as well as a certain amount of technical expertise. So it was better left to the more
How did they get it out? Did they wait for the cat to like
We've already
poop it
proven
out?
how easy it is to pick up trace amounts of imitation synth. So I'm sure Bernard was taking all the precautions he could to avoid the same fate.
Okay, then let's head to the Humane Society right away and bring that guy to justice. I'll bring a Gardamek to speed up the process. The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Ah, you're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
You messed up big time now. We're gonna get you.
We can't let him get away.
Oh no, he's lightly jogging away. He's already out of energy, sir. You've been running for 2 seconds.
Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy, have mercy. I'll talk. I'll tell you everything I know.
The Humane Society has done so much good over the years, and yet you have committed such an atrocious deed in its name.
Yeah, go off.
I have a choice, okay? My father cared about those blasted animals so much, he didn't bother to take care of his human wife and son at all.
Nah.
While those animals were showered with love, I lived worse than a dog.
No one asked. Tell me, how did you first get to know Pierre?
Well, after I took over the Humane Society, it gradually became harder and harder to maintain its operations. Until one day, someone suddenly passed me a letter. It said that I could stand to get a large sum of money as long as I helped them to transport some animals abroad. It was only after a few such transports that I finally understood what I was really transporting. But then, Pierre wrote to me, saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
Uh-huh. Get wrecked, L, loser. Imagine falling for a scam like that. But he's lying.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you? The reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Like,
Yes, officer.
yeah.
I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting times and found all the foreign adopters. Oh, and he even supplied all of the goods too. I just did the transport. He was the one who planned out and executed everything else.
So it's still illegal.
Look, I don't know, okay? I've never ever met him in person. We've only ever communicated through letters.
And when did he send his final letter to you?
Just last night, he said that the Marechaussee Phantom is now after him, so he's planning to go into hiding for some time. He didn't mention where he's thinking about going, though, but he did tell me to look out for the guards.
It's been a few days since Pierre's last appearance. I'd wager that he sent that letter after he found his hiding spot.
I burned them. It was on his orders. I had to burn every letter after reading them.
This guy's a
I
moron.
wasn't even allowed to share them with the rest of the society employees.
Sure sounds like you're trying to use the lack of witnesses or evidence to pin the blame on Pierre.
No, I swear, this time I'm only telling you the truth.
Well, we can check the truth of your statements at the Opera House. I hope you know what'll be coming for you if I were to find any discrepancy between the evidence and the testimony you just gave.
I know, I swear I was just telling the truth.
My thanks to you both. Had it not been for you, I really don't know what would have happened to this case.
Bonnie helped, too.
That's true. It was all thanks to her that Bernard was finally exposed.
Make her an honorary guard right now.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
He's in corner time right now.
It was that obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite right. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider? The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation. Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow, when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home? Bernard claims to have received a letter last night from Pierre. In the letter, Pierre stated that he had gone into hiding. Is there something wrong with the letter? If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry. And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely? Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing?
I mean... communication. Okay, a handoff. Connections. Where's he getting his ingredients from?
According to Bernard, Pierre also supplied all of the goods. But if the Marechaussee Phantom's records are correct, Pierre should have lost all access to the materials required to create the imitation synth. And the Institute has also not reported any theft of their stocks. The final question is, why did I sense that something wasn't right after hearing Bernard's testimony? Even more so than before. Deductive mode deactivated. I think we may be close to the actual answer.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Dang. Oh, never mind.
Is there something else you need from me, Traveler?
Huh?
I see. It all makes sense now.
Hey, what are you talking about? Look, even our confessed criminal here has no idea what you're saying.
Because he has been kept in the dark all along. And I assume it's the same with Pierre. That never quite added up for me. Why did Pierre feel compelled to return to his home with Bonnie and the pendant and make them so easy to find for the Marechaussee Phantom? Both of these things are in stark contrast to his usual meticulous and vigilant behavior. There's only one reasonable explanation. He was following orders, just like Bernard. He probably received the following instructions right before the Phantom came knocking on his door. Bring the cat and the pendant, and our undercover agent will be sure to help you. Unbeknownst to him, however, the third person who wrote that letter to him had long decided to sacrifice him and Bernard to save themselves.
What? You can't be serious. There was a third person involved?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple. Bernard did the trafficking, Pierre the imitation synth production, drugging, and stuffing.
Wait. That doesn't make any sense. If that's the actual truth, then as soon as Pierre is caught, he'll explain his side of the story and the third person will...
Yep, which is why the third person made sure that Pierre would never be found again.
He killed him?
Instructed Pierre to expose himself. The third person wrote to Pierre again, suggesting that everything had been taken care of, and he should take Bonnie and safely return to his base. Of course, Pierre's disappearance at such a sensitive time immediately made him a prime suspect. Knowing that Bonnie had last been seen with him, all the third person would have to do from that point on would be to leave the Phantom to investigate the Humane Society and get Bernard to confess the truth.
Wait, so you're saying that the letter I received yesterday, the one that made me think Pierre was still alive, it was also sent by the third person?
Is that what happened? I'll get back to headquarters right away and reinvestigate this case from the top.
Chevra said that assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. Someone among us, however, has been feeding us all kinds of preconceived notions ever since our first meeting.
You!
They suggested that Pierre's disappearance was an attempt to escape the judgment of the law, and that Pierre was a scion of the Lefebvre family. But if the disappearance is truly just a cover-up for a murder, then couldn't the true scion have been an illegitimate daughter, rather than an illegitimate son?
Huh?
Haven't you taken this joke a bit too far? You're right. I did let a lot of assumptions get to my head when I first started to talk to you about the case. I'll make sure to correct my behavior.
You deliberately fed us lies, but even you could not control every last detail of your plan. There was a flaw in your scheme, and something didn't quite go as planned. Getting the Marechaussee Phantom to notice Pierre was only the first part of your plan. Had they failed to take notice of the Humane Society, they could have cast a wider net.
Which is why she was there as well, because if she would have taken the cat to see if there was any stuff left over in it.
As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. So, you thought about pulling a few more strings, so all of the suspicion would point towards Bernard and his society. Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the Imitation Synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine. It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of Imitation Synth. Still, you soon found another opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of Imitation Synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling Imitation Synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society. Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of Imitation Synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect. You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note of the strange event of Bernard somehow having a reason to look for Pierre's cat.
So, what you're saying is, I went to all that trouble just for the chance that you might put forth the suggestion that would lead you down the wrong path.
Of course, you did far more than that. Just now at Lumiduce Harbor, were you not the person who highlighted the suspicious activities of the Society?
Oh.
You even highlighted the Society's activities during your compilation of the logs, so they'd be immediately visible to anyone examining the records. Moreover, the logs contained no records of the Port Authority's activities. In other words, your activities.
And what are you trying to suggest with that?
I am insinuating that you had plenty of opportunities to transfer the raw materials for Imitation Synth from the harbor to a boat, and then sail over to the meeting place full of floating barrels. And that's how neither the trafficker nor the manufacturer knew there was a third person who supplied the raw materials, and surreptitiously operated between them. Pierre manufactured Imitation Synth using the raw materials you provided, stuffed the animals, and placed the animals back into the box.
Start with
Having
Rob.
received the green light
Or
from you
sorry,
as
no.
Pierre, Bernard then retrieved his animals and shipped them out of Fontaine once he had
I'm
received
so bad
enough
when it
for
comes
a full
to
batch.
reading names on
This
Twitch.
is the
Hi!
truth behind your smuggling ring.
Thank you for the
I
follow.
can't believe it. I never put two and two together.
How are you? I'm doing good.
You've sure got an extremely lively imagination.
So what do you think she's going to say next?
Ever thought about a career in writing crime novels, huh?
It appears that it's quite easy to predict what you'll think or say. Then if we apply that to this case, we can also think of a few places to look for incriminating evidence. You know very well that this case will not end until Pierre is found, so you will have him commit suicide out of fear and shame to end the investigation for good. That way, you can also pin the blame for the overseas smuggling activities, the theft of the harbor's confiscated raw materials.
My
and
stream's
even
going
the
good.
Lefebvre
I'm
name
just
on it.
doing some quests to like
After all,
catch up for the time that I
gentlemen
wasn't
tell
playing the
no
game,
tales.
and
You still
then I
want
might
it to
explore
appear as
if
if he
I
had sent
still
that
feel up
last
to
letter
streaming.
Bernard.
I've got
So
a
you
bunch
have
of
to make
character
sure you
quests
cannot
to
be
do though,
found
so I
until
might
after
not.
Bernard has confessed to the authorities. To do that, you either will hide his body until you've found an appropriate time to set up a fake suicide scene, or you'll dump it someplace where it'll
Because
be
this
hard
is
to
still my
determine
first
the
playthrough of
exact time of
Lynette's
death. Submerged
thing.
in water, for instance.
And
The
I
location
think
would
I've been going
ideally
for like an
allow you to
hour, and
keep
this
the
is still
body
just
hidden
the
for some
first
time. There are only
the
so many
first
options
the
to hide a
first
person's time of
pathway.
death, after all.
Granted,
As
that's
long as
usually
the
always the
Phantom
longest.
investigates each
I don't
of the
stream
possibilities in
daily.
turn, they'll
I'm
surely find
on
Pierre's
winter
remains.
break right now, so
Especially
I might
since,
stream a little bit more,
as the
but I usually
primary
just
suspect who will now be taken into custody,
stream
you will no
when I
longer
feel
have
like
the
it.
time to
I
move
need to
him,
get back
or
into
set
like
up
a
fake
schedule. I
suicide
had
scene
one.
to cover up the murder.
How absurd. And on what grounds will you order my arrest? Don't think for a second that your spouts of nonsense will amount to any kind of real argument. After all, I'm
Elodie Lefebvre.
Oh
As the
snap!
captain of the Special Security and Surveillance Patrol,
I live in America.
in the case.
That's right. We received a message from Lumiduce Harbor that you were going to investigate the Humane Society. We didn't expect to run into you at such a critical moment.
While at the harbor, we noticed something else extremely interesting. Apparently, you often used all kinds of excuses to swap your shifts. And if one were to match the times of your shifts to the activities of the Humane Society and those of certain foreign ships, they'd find them to be an exact match.
It depends. Like it changes from time to
It's just a
time.
coincidence.
At the moment, I really
Yes,
like
I'm
playing
sure you
Dragon
have already
Adventures
thought
on
of a dozen
Roblox
different ways to
and
explain away
Genshin,
suspicious activities.
and I'm not playing much
But as
else.
far as
So I would say
evidence
both
goes,
of those at the moment.
that should be enough to warrant taking you into custody.
Don't worry. If it turns out that the guards are still unable to find any evidence after all this, Lynette and I will do everything in our power to clear your name.
Although judging by her reaction, I assume no follow-up from us will be needed.
The Lefebvres were infamous for using disguise and infiltration to achieve their goals. Who would have thought that they would have planted someone within the guards?
Judging from the timeline, they likely arranged for you to enter the guards before the fall of the clan. But they probably didn't expect you to turn it to your advantage and use your job to save yourself during the purge.
Not only that, but you actively participated in the interrogation, arrest, and judgment of the Lefebvres during their fall, thus clearing yourself of suspicion. You brutally and cruelly abandoned your allies as soon as they outlived their usefulness, just like a lizard cutting off its own tail in order to live.
Oh
You've been
dang.
doing this for years.
So you played me like a fool after all?
Bernard suddenly knocked out by a strike. Oh, I imagine he was trying to
What was
ambush her.
that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally? They were worthless scum. All of them. Not
Thank
just
you.
Bernard and Pierre.
I'm not that high energy
There's
right now,
others,
actually.
too.
I
They always
got
just
up
saw
like 2
me as
hours
a
ago,
tool.
and
lost
I feel
all
like
my
I'm
chances of a
being
normal
kind of
life
chill.
just because I was born into their lot. Not only that, But because they wanted me to become an undercover agent, they stripped me of my name, too. I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive. And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know
it's going
anything
pretty
about
good.
what I've been through over all these
I
years?
haven't done
My
much
life
today
as
except
the
for
last
stream.
Bear?
I don't, and neither do I care.
Jesus, Lynette.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save
Oh,
it for the
that's
interrogation
cool.
room.
What a joke.
I actually did some art with
Hey!
my my waiting and my away screen. I do my Nightbot should have sent a link to my Discord server. And I mean, I'm in it.
Don't come any closer.
What's that?
Know what this is? I've secretly planted loads of explosives in the Humane Society.
Okay.
Just one step closer.
1 second.
Whether they're cats, dogs, or just unlucky human employees. They'll all be blown up into smithereens. Surely, you bunch of goody two-shoes won't let that happen, right?
Oh, wait. There we go. In Discord, my username is... It's basically just my Twitch, but I don't, it's not capitalized. Success.
I can understand how you feel. Like you, we are also victims of the Lefebvre clan. But if you were to endanger innocents now for your own gain, the public anger towards the Lefebvres would only rise to a boiling point. And the families of the new victims would be dead set on exacting revenge on you.
And what of it?
I'll be your hostage, Elodie.
What?
Thanks for your concern, Traveler. But we need to end all of the hate and violence arising from this clan once and for all. I'll raise my hands and come over slowly. I promise that I'm completely unarmed.
I'm watching you. Don't think for a second you can pull a fast one on me.
I mean, he's a very well-trained magician, so I think he
Keep your eyes
could
on
pull a
me.
fast one on
Don't
you.
look away.
Uh-oh! It was Bonnie! Heck yeah, girl.
So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself. This is it. Looks like it's just a toy.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly flipped and knocked out Bernard. He probably knew that there were no explosives at the society.
Well, given that she never even showed her face to Bernard and Pierre, I had my doubts that she'd have gone to the society in person to plant explosives.
Thank you for your help, everyone. I'll take them back for thorough questioning and find someone better to take over the Humane Society. I might need a few statements from everybody. Would you be able to come with me?
If statements are all you need, can Lenny provide them on my behalf? I still need to go back and explain some things to the crew. I also had an appointment with the Traveler before we got interrupted.
Oh, thank you for the follow. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Ah, so you do remember. Yes, I invited you to come over to our place. Once I'm done talking with the troop, I'll make a nice cup of tea and bring
How was your
Bonnie to wait
day?
for you outside of my
I hope it's
door.
going good. Oh, they're both... Oh! Well, I hope your day goes well, then. If you just woke up, I hope your day goes well.
This coffee smells as good as ever.
Oh, right. They're part of the... whatever it's called.
Black
I
tea
forget.
and a cute kitty. Truly the best combo for standby mode. Want some? Mm-hmm. I hope
That's
you'll
good,
like
that's
it.
good, that's good.
Not at all. Information is indeed very important. But if you were to try to collect every piece of information you come across, your efficiency would actually decrease. Plus, if you just think about it, what sounds more fun? Writing a statement or enjoying a tea party?
It is really cold. I think if it was a little bit colder, because it almost looks like there's snow clouds where I live right now. And I feel like, what temperature is it for me outside? 55? Oh, it's not as cold as I thought. But, I think it looks like there's snow clouds outside.
Great answer. That'd be my pick
Oh,
too.
Lord, that is cold.
Had we not run into that case, we could have spent the entire day like this. But now I'm running low on both time and energy. You're right. I can sense it. I'm recharging very quickly at the moment.
Well, I hope you're able to stay warm and stuff.
Something about her rubbed me the wrong way since the very beginning. But to be more precise, it was probably around the time when I saw Bonnie try to get away from her. Elodie tried to get close, but Bonnie deliberately dodged her. Maybe Bonnie had tried to evade her before at Pierre's base. Or
Today
perhaps
only
Bonnie
about an
just
hour.
instinctively knew
I
that she
have been
wasn't a good
playing
person.
since like,
Not everyone who
for
likes
maybe a
cats is
year,
good person.
I've been like playing the
But
game.
if
Although I
cats
took a
like
break,
you,
and I
you're
just got back
probably
into it
alright.
recently. It's probably maybe a 3 or 4 month break, because
Humans tend to overthink
I took a
things,
break
but
around the
cats
time that
rely on their
Arlecchino came
instincts,
out.
and they're pretty sharp.
Yeah.
I mean, just look at Bonnie. She took a liking to you the moment you met.
Ooh. It's very fun. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, sometimes I play Overwatch too, which isn't an RPG, but it's an FPS. I've never tried playing Elden Ring. I feel like it would be too hard for me. I'll have to see somewhere I can get it, because I've got Steam and stuff. I just need to probably wait until I I just need to wait until I get paid. Unless is it on Xbox Game Pass?
Welcome to the court of Fontaine. Please watch your step.
Please let me out. In Genshin, it's probably Yunjin, which is only because, a while back, I tried to do a thing where I, like, spinned a wheel to build a random character, and she was my first one that I landed on, and I just ended up falling in love with her, and then I found out that we have the same birthday, and so it's like, it's
We
fate.
investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider? The Marechaussee Phantom found Bonnie and the Lefebvre pendant at Pierre's residence. That was the beginning point of our investigation. Why would he leave such an obvious trail for us to follow, when he took so much care to not leave any traces of imitation synth in his home?
Oh lord. Sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was muted for a second. That is a very... That's a very big coincidence of a birthday.
Is there something wrong with the letter?
Let me see if I can find your Discord. It doesn't seem like I can find your username on Discord either, unfortunately, Madeline. Oh, I'm from the United States.
If Bonnie had imitations and thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place.
I couldn't find your user on Discord, Madeline.
Letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts, or they had a separate goal entirely. Well, we've discovered that Bernard is responsible for the trafficking, while Pierre deals with supplying the goods. Is there something else in this scheme that we're missing?
What just happened? No, I'm playing on the PC.
Yeah, according to Bernard, Pierre also supplied all of the goods.
Yeah, PC's really
But if
good.
the Marchese Phantom's records are correct, Pierre should have lost all access to the materials required to create the imitation synth. And the Institute has also not reported.
There's some games
any
where it's
theft of their
a
synths.
little bit harder to
The
play
final
on
question is, why did I sense that
on
something
console
wasn't
and
right
stuff,
after hearing Bernard's testimony?
unfortunately.
Even more so than before.
It is really good. Yeah, I've got a bunch of games that I have that I never play.
Deductive mode deactivate.
Wait, why did it set me back? It sent me. Oh, what? Oh,
Now
right.
behave and follow me to the interrogation room.
I went back.
Ow!
I think I have to pull a card lower than 20. Crap.
Is there something else you...
Huh?
They were worthless scum. I lost all my chances of a normal life.
I don't have a full-time job. I'm in college, but I do have a part-time job.
What do you understand? I finally found an opportunity to earn an... And
I'm
you
off right now
just had to
because
go
my
and ruin all of
job
it.
is through college. It's like through my college's cafeteria, so it's closed because winter break is going on.
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah, it's really fun to watch people stream and like be able to interact with them a little bit more than normal. Okay, let me see. Oh, I see it. I have accepted your request.
Phew. So I was right after all. It's easier to deal with the person causing the problem than the problem itself. This is it.
Guess that's probably why she suddenly...
Well, given that she never even...
I'm just killing it on these success checks. Sure.
I see the value in my own work, but I also see the meaning in all the endeavors of the people of Fontaine.
Now behave and follow...
Ow! That hurt. Ah!
There we go. Okay. I think I have to fail that check, is what I do.
Is everything I still feel like... Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse. No good. I've still got nothing, and I'm nearly... Alright. Let's go to the Humane Society and see if there are any animals left that
no,
might
that's
before
okay.
my
I like
energy for today
some of the
completely
way
runs out.
my channel's set up. Like, I hand drew my waiting screen and my away screen, and then I animated them. They're a little janky, but I quite like them. I'm fairly certain I know what this one is. Plus, there's a lot of stuff I would need to do on the back end as well. Like, I probably need to get a new mic. I only have the one monitor because I'm working off of a gaming laptop. It's a lot that I'd need to save up for. Because getting into streaming is like a big investment. It's a very expensive hobby when you're first starting out.
Huh. I didn't like that. Clearly, there's some design flaws. Let's see. Huh? What is that really? You make a good point. Okay, so stick around here and stand by. Oh, good idea. Bonnie may as well. All right then.
Yep, all done. Yep, I knew that was the one for that path that I needed to do. Just like the do neither option, which means now I have 2 left to get, and they're all on the path of going to going back to the banquet.
Huh. I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just... Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out.
No, it's okay. I don't feel like I'm in the
Let's
financial
see.
state to...
Which card did I get?
Like, I wouldn't want to underpay someone for their work, and I don't feel like I would be able to afford it at the moment. Because I know how hard someone works, because I'm sort of an artist myself. I'm not that great, but I know how hard people have to work to do that stuff, and I don't want to underpay them for like a high quality thing.
Card up off the ground is how to not leave it to fate. Or thank you. This one is final, I promise. Here, take the fateometer. If it's 5 or above, that means fate sucks. Also, if you have your own thoughts about what I should do, feel free to share it. Now that I've got a good problem solver here to help, I don't need to run every little thing by fate. Back to the drink. Nope, I said it was you. Besides, the drinks reception is technically part of the job as an official publicity event. So, if I bail, I might get sued for breach of contract, and that would be a huge pain in the butt. One other thing. Do you want to come with me?
Alright, let's go. Sorry, Bonnie, but we already helped you.
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize
Yeah,
her?
I just gotta practice more, like actually get into practicing more.
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and see if they know anything.
Who voices Lynette? Because I feel like she voices someone else.
Sure. I would help, but I'm a little preoccupied. Sorry to dump this on you.
It's no trouble at all. We're
Also,
Leone.
I mean,
Lee1.
could we maybe get an autograph? And maybe a photo too?
Leone, you can't spring that on her now. Not while she's working. At least wait until the event's finished. One last thing, Lynette. Director Mary is looking for you. We'll take the cat to the front desk now. See you later.
Because the person that voices her sounds familiar. Okay, it only has the Japanese one listed. That's fine.
I'm not usually required at these kinds of events, so I don't even have an event mode. Alright, guess I'd better go see the director.
I don't know, the person that voices Leone just sounds familiar to me, but I have no clue.
And the performance, oh my, groundbreaking, dripping with je ne sais quoi. My congratulations on another magnificent.
It could just be me like
yes, I for one was
going off the rails, not actually recognizing it.
The lost puppet shines a
Grasping at straws,
technological advances in our
one would say.
Particularly as they relate to changing modes of emotional expression and the challenge of mutual intelligibility. Such a pioneering work, so far ahead of its time. A tour de force of avant-garde theater.
I can already see the headlines of tomorrow's newspapers. They will certainly be singing your praise, Director Mariyu.
But it was a group effort, of course. To convey emotions in a silent show with no facial expressions, the entire cast had to go above and beyond. Everyone truly outdid themselves.
Speaking of the cast, Jillian, another strong performance from you in Director Mariyu's latest show, as of course we've all come to expect from your numerous successful collaborations to date.
That's quite an overstatement. I've only ever played supporting roles.
On that point, you stated a few months ago in an interview that you were looking to secure a leading role in your next show. What led you to the decision to stay in a supporting role this time around?
We had a discussion about this, and while Lynette hadn't previously performed in an acting role, we were blown away by her talent, and she was a perfect fit for this character. Quite simply, this was the role she was born to play.
Exactly. I was honored to share the stage with her. Lynette worked extremely hard in all of the rehearsals, and she's an incredibly talented actress.
Oh, Lynette's back!
Lynette's back!
Where have you been? Were you in standby mode? Some reports say you switched that state to recharge after a show.
Ah, method acting, of course. Such a compelling portrayal of a mechanical puppet could only be achieved by an actor who lives and breathes their role even while off stage.
Those seemingly stilted movements were in fact an inspired portrayal of the character. The ostensibly bad acting, in reality, was the product of supreme acting skill.
Oh, I went outside and there was this cat there, so I played with the cat for a bit.
A cat? We've long heard that you are a kind soul, as well as an incredible actress. No wonder your debut performance has garnered such popularity.
This show looks on track to break box office records for avant-garde theater. Lynette, any words for the fans?
Not really, no.
I believe Lynette is trying to say that the act of performance itself is the actor's true means of connecting with their fans.
Oh, I see. Lynette, any comments?
Right, exactly.
But don't you want the fans to know how you're feeling right now, after the hugely successful opening of your first ever show?
That's true.
I'm sure the fans would love to learn a bit more about you too.
How interesting.
Rah! Sorry, I'm looking for something that I had turned off, and now I want to turn it back on.
Sorry. How rude of me.
Oh, there it is. It's got its own little section.
Wait, you're the traveler who's been in the news.
Yeah.
Did you come to see the show?
Wow, are you a fan of Lynette too? Do you have any comments on her first performance?
Yeah, it's just... Turns out, even with you here to share the load, I can't cope with this stuff, even in Tea Party mode. It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting. But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions. The energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party. I think I'd rather pray that I never have to do it again.
Lynette, Director Mariu would like you to join the group photo to commemorate the successful opening of the show.
A group photo?
It's just the members of the troupe, along with Maloney and Corentin. Everyone's waiting for you.
Alright then. See you in a minute.
3, 2, 1, smile.
My thanks to each and every one of you here for your help in making The Lost Puppet a success. The group photo is already being printed as I speak. You can collect your copy from the first floor after the drinks reception concludes. May it serve as a reminder of this fabulous performance every time you see it.
Mariu! Get over here. Let's have another drink. There's a few things I need you to glance over for me.
I thought the group photo was the final hurdle. Well, at least there's no more people hounding me with questions. I just need to find somewhere to switch to standby mode, and the time will fly by. I hope.
Go to the second floor to pass the time. Serena!
Hotel de Bour's Eel Floutante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Traveler? Lynette? Oh, wait, hold on. What do you mean, managed to get an invite? I'm an expert in the dramatic arts. Of course I was invited. Naturally, people wanted to hear my comments on the emerging art form that is the Masked Mime Show. Remarkable, and a very worthwhile artistic endeavor. Exploring a character with no lines or facial expressions who can only communicate how they feel through their movement. Your performance was beyond anything I could have imagined, Lynette. Clearly, this was a very suitable role for you indeed. Is something wrong?
No, it's nothing. Please go on.
Oh, Basically, I think I'd give it a positive review overall, just not as gushing as the crowd downstairs.
So, you thought they were pretty over the top too?
In fairness, it's normal to bring along some vocal supporters for publicity when a new show opens, but still, this was something else. Then again, I'm no specialist in avant-garde theater. Maybe I'm just not well acquainted with their review criteria. Or maybe it's because I came to the show with some preconceived expectations. I did happen to see the original draft of Mariu's script a while back.
What original draft?
Oh? He didn't show it to you? It must have been a few months ago. He came to me to get some advice from an experienced performer's perspective, and then asked if I could write a few reviews of his new play. I had a lot on my plate at the time, so I had to turn him down. I only skimmed a few sections, but they seemed quite different from the final version. I can't say I remember the plot, but I don't know. The protagonist just seemed more complex, I guess, especially in the last two scenes. Still a mechanical puppet on the outside, of course, but she seemed to have more emotional depth on the inside.
Emotional depth?
Oh, I'm just thinking aloud here. Don't take it to heart. Besides, a script and a play are two very different beasts. There are so many fine details to consider when turning a story into a stage production. More than most people could imagine. Especially with a novel art form like a masked mime show. I'm sure Mariu had his reasons for the changes he made.
Definitely.
Change of topic. I see you've escaped the crowds to seek refuge on the second floor. Fame can be overwhelming at first, can't it? Perhaps you'd benefit from hearing about the experiences of a veteran celebrity such as myself.
No thanks, I'm good. Pretty sure this will be my first and last time in this situation.
Hey, at least let me finish. I have top tips on dealing with belligerent reporters, slipping away to hunt down snacks during the intermission.
Tell me everything.
First, take a seat, mon ami. We must partake of Hotel de Boer's fine desserts as we talk, lest they go to waste.
That was very educational. I expect most of the people downstairs have left by now. Time to grab my copy of the group photo and get home.
Yeah, group photo.
The photo must be in this envelope right here. It's finally over. Thank you for sticking around for so long. If it wasn't for you, I don't know how I would have standby moded my way through the last few hours. It's fine. It's just... it was such a minor thing. While I was on stage, there was a moment when I felt like someone was looking at me. It was only for an instant, and I didn't even see who it was. But somehow, I knew it was a look of contempt. I got a vague sense of it again during the reception. Like someone was giving me an evil stare. But I couldn't figure out who it was. Normally, I'm used to lurking in the shadows on the stage and spying on other people. So, it was strange, feeling like I was the one being spied on this time. Or someone just took a disliking to me for no real reason. Sometimes you can like one person and dislike another for equally pointless reasons. Anyway, it was just a momentary stink eye, that's all. Nothing for you to worry about.
I'll kill them all. Or, I mean, I don't want to overreact.
Okay, problem solved. I'm gonna take this envelope and go home now. You have destroyed this work of art. Step down from the leading role at once. Based on the tone, I'd say threat letter is right. I don't think we're gonna find any more clues here. Yes, let's. Whatever destroyed means, it could have something to do with the original.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
How could I ever have doubted you? If you hadn't stuck to your guns and kept sending those invitations, this opportunity would have passed us by.
See? I told you. All the times she'd refused in the past were all the more reason to keep inviting her, because it turns into a big talking point. Can you imagine if you'd gone with Jillian? You'd have been lucky to get half the ticket sales you've ended up with.
True. Well, Jillian still needs to get a few more productions under her belt.
Okay, so it's Jillian.
Do you have a moment, Director Mario?
Oh! Ah, if it isn't the star of the show! We were just talking about you. Hmm? Oh, and is that the legendary Traveler with you? I'm guessing you're here to discuss the show with the director? Oh, you're a talented and hardworking actress, Lynette. It's no wonder you're getting such rave reviews. I'll leave you artists to discuss your work in peace. Mariu, make sure you give your star performer and her friend your full attention.
I certainly will. Lynette carries the fortunes of our entire troupe on her shoulders.
Mr. Maloney. An investor or something, I think. I've never asked him.
So, what can I do for the two of you? I'm afraid I'll have to dash soon as I'm meeting some friends from the newspaper. Otherwise, I'd love to stay longer.
We heard that the original script for The Lost Puppet was quite different from the final show. I'm kind of curious to know what the protagonist was like in that version.
The latest
Oh.
release is packed with
Well,
innovations.
this
You can
is
go
a
from
surprise.
inspiration to creation
I didn't think
faster
you'd
than
be
ever. With the
interested in
amazing new
that
text to image,
sort of
you
thing.
can create just by
It's
typing a
not
prompt,
uncommon
like
for scripts to
maybe
undergo
giant
major
balloon
changes as
giraffe
they're
at
being
a
brought
sidewalk
to the
cafe,
stage.
True.
But
underwater pink and purple
I'm
for
afraid there's not
Wonderland.
much to tell you in
Okay,
this
keep
case.
going.
The
Zip through dozens of
protagonist has
ideas in
stayed
minutes.
the same
Get
from
weird,
beginning
get
to
creative,
end.
and get your free trial
A
at
mechanical puppet
Photoshop.com.
with a bumbling body but a sensitive soul. A stranger in time who doesn't belong. There's no doubt about it. You are the protagonist, and the protagonist is you. The success of one is the success of the other, and that's what made this show an artistic triumph.
Sorry, you've lost me. Can you put it in plain words?
All right then. Delving deep in the search of core truths is the job of an artist, after all. You shouldn't give your attention to early drafts of the script, Lynette. All it would do is sow confusion where you already have clarity. The current script is the final version because it is the best version.
That's
And your
true.
performance best brings that script to life. Why, if it weren't for you, I doubt any audience would give our show the time of day. What letter? Oh my goodness!
You heartless puppet, you've ruined this work. Hand over the role to the lead actress immediately.
Destroyed this work of art? Really?
Well, Director Mariyu, any idea who might have written it?
No. Who on earth would write such nonsense? Absolutely not. Without Lynette, this show would be over. Everyone's hard work would go to waste. No, there's no way that this is someone from the troupe.
Yeah, maybe Jillian could fill in for me for a while.
What? No way, out of the question. The protagonist has to be played by Lynette. Jillian can't... She's just not what the audience is looking for. I've got it. It's a competitor. Yes, this letter must be from a competitor of ours who's trying to get under Lynette's skin. You can't lie low. That's just what they want you to do. The moment you step back from performing, they'll put their rumor mill into overdrive and drag us through the mud. They're just waiting for their chance to kick us while we're down.
A competitor? Really?
Definitely. Those lowlifes. Slander and libel are all their specialties. They drown out the truth with a flood of misinformation, and they stop at nothing once they get riled up. Oh, there's so many of them out there. Fame always seems to attract haters, no matter what you do to try and keep everyone happy. But don't worry, I will get to the bottom of this. Stay strong, Lynette, and keep up the good work on stage. I have to go and meet my friends from the newspapers now, but rest assured, I'll be discussing countermeasures with them.
So, a competitor, huh? I kinda doubt it. We've dealt with those types before. Usually their goal is to steal our venue for their own show, or to cover up a scandal by planting a story to divert public attention. But at the moment, I don't think anyone's got a reason to do any of that stuff. Let alone pull a stunt like this. A threat letter is quite extreme. Besides, when I felt that evil stare, I'm pretty sure it was coming from somewhere backstage. So that rules out a lot of people. I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jillian, his reaction was pretty unusual.
Oh, that's not good.
Especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her. Yep, she told me she lives in the Fleuve Sandra.
The heck? Where am I? What is this place? The pipes? The sewers? People live here? There's not even actual houses. These are just tents pitched up with really bad cloth.
Lynette? What are you doing?
Lynette?
Welcome here.
I've been to the Fleuve Sandra plenty of times before. This is the first I'm hearing about me not being welcome.
Things are different around here. You might be used to a crowd of bootlicking morons fawning over you wherever you go, but not down here. We know what you are.
Bootlicking morons? I don't know. I've never met this kid before.
Gina, stop that! Go home now!
Jillian!
No buts. How many times do I have to tell you? That had nothing to do with Lynette. If you don't leave right now, I swear I'll never invite you to one of my shows ever again.
Ooh, you're in trouble.
Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
I'm so sorry. Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
It's okay. I have younger siblings too, so I get it.
You have Fremine.
She's in her
I think it's a
rebellious
little different.
Phase, huh? If you let angsty kids get you riled up, they'll drain all your energy. So don't worry. I won't let it get to me.
Well, this situation's a little different in this case, but still, thank you. So, what brings you to the Fleuve Sandra?
We heard about it from Maloney. He said you were originally supposed to play the lead.
Maloney, huh? Of course he couldn't keep his mouth shut. I'm sorry. I never mentioned it because Director Mariyu was very clear that I mustn't let any of it affect you.
Yeah.
What's this? I don't know, who would do something like this?
Don't be scared, Jillian. Just tell us what you know.
Okay, I'll try. It's true. I was originally cast as the lead in The Lost Puppet. I've worked with Director Mariyu many times before, but only in minor roles. The audiences and critics never had much to say about me. Nothing terrible, but nothing amazing either. A few months ago, Mariyu started working on a new show, so I plucked up the courage to ask him if I could take the leading role. He was hesitant, but he agreed to let me try for the part.
We did a few rehearsals, everything seemed to be going okay. But then...
There's been a change of plan, Jillian. The leading role will now be played by Lynette.
Lynette? But she always turns these things down, doesn't she?
And that's why we cannot afford to waste this opportunity. Jillian, I understand how you must be feeling. But Maloney and myself have to do what's best for the production as a whole. Next time, the lead will be yours. I promise.
I was incredibly disappointed at first, but I also know full well that I don't have Lynette's star power. Without Lynette, how could we ever convince people to pay money to go and see a masked mime show? And if the show was a flop with me in the leading role, how would I answer to the director and the rest of the cast? Then, I got to meet you on stage and found that you're really down to earth, in a way that not many celebrities are. You were kind to everyone, and your performance wasn't bad. Whatever disappointment I had left at that point, I certainly wasn't about to take it out on you.
By wasn't bad, you mean it wasn't great either. So, I'm guessing Mariu changed the script to simplify the protagonist, make her a dumbed-down version of the mechanical puppet that I could actually play.
He did make some changes to the script, yes? Jaik, one of the other actors. He likes to collect Dr. Mariu's old drafts because he hopes to be a director himself one day. He also lives nearby. I can arrange for you to meet him at the tavern.
Makes sense. I always see him talking to Mariu. Alright, see you at the tavern then. Tea is ready. Now it's time for a short rest.
Oops.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after. That's always the way with pen and paper drafts. Even the final script is full of last-minute changes by the director. There should be a cleaner copy of the original script in here somewhere. Sorry, it's all a bit mixed up. I just grabbed the whole stack of paper since I was in a rush.
No problem. Now activating search mode. I'll go through one page at a time.
Critical success. Like always. Because I'm just that good. Success. Oh. Success. And watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, because I don't think you can physically fail this. Boom. Success. Yeah, it's whatever. I'm just that good, you know. I don't want to brag or anything, but like, never failed it unless I wanted to. Oh, there's more on the other side. Get up, Lynette. Let's see. Let's look at this Lynette build. She's level 88 for some reason. Lord only knows why. What's her weapon? Okay, okay. Her artifacts? Alright. Why are they giving me a built Lynette? Because I highly doubt I'm gonna have to fight with her. I kind of want to, but there's literally no NPCs around. I will be right back. I need to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. I'm back.
Just say what you mean, hearts. No problem.
Oh, yes. Boom.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of her deceased companions. She dances until her joints have rusted stiff and mechanical parts are falling from her body. Yep, that's not something a novice could hope to pull off after just a few months of rehearsals. Frankly, I think that the original script is much better, and the original lead is the best fit. Jillian, shall I go tell Mariu to put you back in the leading role?
Huh? What? Are you serious? But the next show is at the Opera Epiclese. It's such a huge opportunity.
But not such a rare one for me, though, right?
That's different. This isn't you as part of a magic duo. It's a chance to star as the main character in a show. You'll reach whole new heights of fame.
Fame in small doses has its perks, but too much and I'll get overloaded. But if you play the lead, the fame will be yours, and I get to be free. Sounds like a win-win, don't you think?
It'll never work.
For sure.
There's no way Director Mariu or Maloney would ever agree to it. The set for Act 4 would need to change, as would all the marketing materials. And that would mean asking Maloney for a lot more Mora. Changing actors at the last minute is just too risky. If anything went wrong, it could bankrupt the whole troupe. Plus, Maloney's friends have already published a ton of articles saying how this is the role that Lynette was born to play. No one else can play the protagonist now. If Lynette quit the show and I took her place... If Lynette left, they'd sooner stop the whole show than let me take her place.
Stop the whole show? But all the people in the troupe...
Okay, there's literally no way I can lose this.
You do? What is it? That's a bold plan. I'm in.
You know, it's a little crazy, but it might actually work.
No way! It's not worth taking such a huge risk just for a chance to be in the spotlight.
Jillian, you said before, whatever disappointment I had left, I wasn't about to take out on you. In other words, that disappointment is still there, but you've kept it bottled up inside. Be honest. You still hope to play the leading role, don't you?
But the thought of putting so many people out just for my sake?
You think they'd be put out? That's not how I see it.
Jillian, you were more dedicated than anyone during the rehearsals for the original script. We all saw how hard you worked for this role. And I think you know that unless we decide to make a stand here, the path we're on is only going to take us further and further from our dreams, all of us.
Yeah.
So take it from me. You would not be putting us out. Not one bit.
Yeah.
You guys... Okay. Let's do it. I will play my part.
Yes! I knew you'd come around. All right. I'll let the rest of the troupe know, and we'll start preparing immediately.
Wonderful. This solves everything.
Wait, but what about the threat letter? Do you have any idea who sent it?
As long as we stick to the plan, I'll give up the lead role, so it won't matter anymore, right?
Yeah.
But surely you want to know who it's from. If they're out there and no one's keeping an eye on them, what if they come looking for you?
I doubt they will. It's supposed to be a threat, but they didn't even say what would happen if I don't meet their demands. Plus, the handwriting is kinda childish. Doesn't look like a professional intimidator.
Oh, it was the kid from earlier that said that Lynette wasn't welcome here. That's...
having a moment.
Yeah.
Me?
Yup.
Maybe there's someone out there who really appreciates your talent.
Yeah.
Even in the supporting roles.
I'm tired of this card system. It was fun at first, but it's just... Just let me make decisions, man.
It's getting late. We should be leaving. Come on.
I'm such an idiot.
Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away from figuring out who sent the letter, so I had to act fast. Nothing gets past you.
Just because Lady Farina speaks highly of you, it doesn't mean you're all that.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious.
Gina's always been a strong-willed child. That's why I never let her visit me at work.
I guess she must have snuck into the drinks reception and overheard our conversation with Farina. She idolizes Jillian, both as an older sister and an actress. And she watched as
that's her older sister? I thought that was her mom.
For so long, got snatched away from her by some amateur who's never acted before. To make matters worse, all the critics were hailing this amateur as a perfect fit for the role. And even Fontaine's former biggest star was praising her abilities. Yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Like I said, getting angry at angsty teenagers is draining. Besides, if it was my younger brother or sister and they found out I'd been treated unfairly or had an opportunity stolen from me, they'd definitely do something far. I was in Jillian's position once. Back when Linny and I were starting out, before we got famous, we just had to take things a day at a time. Doing our shows, slowly trying to build up our reputation. So I can understand Gina's frustration. Still, she could definitely use some pro tips on how to write a threat letter.
That's for sure.
The way she looks at me is indignant, frustrated, but not malicious. Plus, she didn't even try to hide how she felt. Whoever was giving me that evil stare was backstage. Blending into the crowd at a drinks reception is one thing, but trying to blend in backstage, where everyone's on high alert waiting to be called on stage, would be a lot more difficult.
So it wasn't
We'll find out
her.
who it is before too long. In 2 days' time, at the next show.
Well, it wasn't her
I think it
backstage.
will become very clear. On that note, guess I'll see you at the Opera House. Bye for now.
Have I already found the breaking point in the story where it merges off into the last thing? I haven't. Okay, wait until 16 the next day? 2 days later. Woo! All right. Oh, I only have one left. Oh, because that's literally just for the quest I'm doing. Yay! We're here! I don't know why I'm acting like this is like such a cool place that I've never been to before, but woo! We're here! Yay! Woohoo! Let's go!
Oh, you're here! Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come with me.
That puppet in the middle, is that Lynette? She's so pretty.
It's starting. Keep your voice down.
Wow, I thought it would be hard to follow, but in the end it was actually very clear.
Even though her face was expressionless and she didn't speak the whole time, I felt like I could really understand how the protagonist was feeling.
Director Mariu really is a master of his craft. And so is the actress in the lead role.
I have a friend who saw the show on the opening day. They thought the critics overstated how good it was, but I gotta say, the protagonist is incredible.
I can't believe it's only been a few days since the last show. Lynette's improved so much. Just wow. I'm speechless. Words simply cannot do justice to the sheer excellence we witnessed from Lynette on stage today.
Your penchant for the hyperbolic strikes again, Amory. Clearly you weren't at a loss for words when you were writing your article. I saw you hand it to the journalist. Trying to get your critique into the papers the moment the show is over, are you?
Well, you know how it is. The early critics get all the readers. Wouldn't you agree, Mariyu?
What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? The first half was a huge success. Even I could tell the acting was top tier.
My apologies, Mr. Maloney. Please excuse me for a second. I need to have a little talk with my actors.
Oh, very well. Hey, while you're at it, this might be a good time to talk future collaborations with Lynette.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariyu pushes back? We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Mariyu, I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
No.
Ta-da!
Director Mariyu, I was the one playing the lead role just now.
I switched costumes and masks with Jillian so that I could be the protagonist's companion and stay out of the limelight.
Lynette, why on earth would you do this?
You know my acting is amateur. The only reason I'm being seen as a pro, let alone a pioneer, is because you have critics supporting the show.
Yeah,
If they'd
preach,
seen me in
girl.
the leading role during the first half, they wouldn't be expecting anything more. But what happens now that they've seen Jillian in the role? If you force me to play the lead in the second half, they'll be wondering, why is the actress suddenly giving such an underwhelming performance right at the climax of the whole story? These are just some of the questions that will be on everyone's minds during the second half. And those questions will follow them out the doors of the theater after the show ends. There's only one way for you to save your reputation, and that's to keep Jillian as the lead all the way to the end.
Absolutely not. I'd sooner announce that we're having technical difficulties and need to stop the show. If I keep Jillian as the lead for the second half, what do you think will happen in the curtain call when she takes her mask off? Everyone will see that we've changed actors. What will your fans think? They're only here because of you. And what about all the critics who support you? If we get on the wrong side of them, it'll be the death of the whole show. There'd be tickets to refund, fines to pay for breach of contract. The whole troupe's hard work would go down the drain. Don't you see how much this would cost us? You can't just take a job on a whim, then abandon your responsibility the moment you don't feel like doing it anymore. You're playing games with other people's hopes and dreams.
Director Mariyu, please. You're not being fair to Lynette.
Actually, Jillian, he's half right. I did kind of take this on a whim. But my responsibility here is making sure you get back the role that belongs to you.
And I guess part of that responsibility lies with me, considering I badgered you into accepting the job.
It's the guy!
Sorry I'm a little late to the show. Work's been keeping me pretty busy lately.
Lenny? What do you want? Do you think you can snap your fingers and make all my problems magically disappear?
That might be a little tricky, but instead, I could make something else magically appear.
what's this?
A draft complaint letter, my contract, your legal fees, reimbursement for the tickets, and an advance on the penalty fee for breach of contract. Mr. Mariu, I'm stepping down from the leading role, regardless of whether you choose to cancel the rest of today's show.
If you do suffer unforeseen financial losses from this, you're free to seek damages as per the contract. And if you want to file a lawsuit, there's a draft here that you can use if you need it.
Dang. You're prepared.
I can't believe this. You're literally handing me a lawsuit against you with a straight face. Of course. All this Mora, it's a pittance to you, isn't it? Must be nice to have the luxury of prior success and fame. Look at us. We're huge stars. One minute we want to go on stage. The next we feel like backing out of the contract. But that's okay. We're famous. We can afford it. You have no respect for other people's work. You're treating other people's hopes and dreams like a big joke.
Do it all with
You don't give a hoot how much this show means to other people. You don't even care that the whole production might have to shut down because of you.
That's not true. I do care. And I'm under no illusion as to how much this show means to you.
Oh, brilliant deduction there. Of course it means a lot to me. This is my show. That's the only reason I asked you to be in it in the first place.
Really? Then why do your eyes tell a different story? The way you look at me, it's full of contempt. Almost as if I've destroyed your work of art.
What? I would never think that.
A couple days ago, I asked some associates to do some digging for me. I was interested to know who else you invited to play the lead apart from Lynette. Surprise, surprise. Turns out that all the other famous actresses you asked either had prior commitments or weren't a good fit for the role. They all turned you down.
And I would have turned you down too, if not for an unlikely set of coincidences.
You didn't send those invitations because you were looking for a better actress than Jillian, but because your investor wanted a big name in your show, right?
Director Mariu.
To get Maloney on your side, you chose to make Jillian the understudy, and then look for an opportunity for her to take the lead.
I bet you were torn at first, weren't you? Do you stick to the tried and tested formula? Choose Lynette, use her celebrity to get the critics on your side so that you and your investors can line your pockets?
Or do you choose Jillian, so that you and your longtime collaborator can stage the show of your dreams, the original, unedited version of The Lost Puppet?
Oh, I didn't betray myself.
You mentioned prior success and fame earlier, but you're a well-known director yourself, with countless works to your name. Wouldn't that make you successful too? Or maybe,
She's got you
none
there.
of your current achievements really count as success to you.
Right now, you have an opportunity to send Jillian onto that stage and perform the second half as you always imagined it, faithful to your original script. Your work would be displayed for all of Fontaine to see in its true, perfect form.
Did you say perfect?
Or will you act now before Maloney and the critics can protest and make your dream come true on the stage? And Jillian's dream. In fact, the dreams of the whole troupe.
The whole troupe?
Director Mariu? Actually, most of the money Lenny brought came from us. We all chipped in.
We've worked with you for many years now. Your troupe has been here for you all the way from the empty theaters where we first performed to the Opera House today. We watched as you slowly started down a path you used to despise. The path of powerful connections, drinks receptions, backdoor deals with critics, and collaborations based on fame instead of talent.
But this is just a temporary measure. I did it for the good of the troupe.
I don't know, man.
And besides, this is how the whole industry works. Everyone else is doing it.
Yes, we know. Back when you started, you had to bite the bullet and do these things to keep the troupe afloat. But then what happened? You began to embrace these methods more and more, becoming so reliant on them that every show you put out is overhyped by the media, and every script you write is edited to suit some celebrity's needs. Surely you must have noticed what's happening. While we've been performing at bigger and bigger theaters with each show, the applause is getting quieter and quieter each night. And the criticism from people who've seen the show is growing. Maloney's friends are sycophants. They don't care if the audience is disappointed because the show doesn't live up to their glowing reviews. They praise the things they like and skirt around the things they don't.
Look, I know everyone's using the same promotional tactics, but does that really make it okay?
No. It doesn't.
Well, it's just a stopgap solution. As soon as I've made enough more, I'll stop. Things will be different next time. I promise.
Next time, huh? Yeah. Next time, you won't use your connections. Next time, you won't pay off the critics. Next time, you'll let Julian play the lead.
Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. If you make some money once, you'll want to do it again, then again. Slowly but surely, you turn your back on your dreams.
I won't turn my back on my dreams any longer, Director Mariyu. Never again.
Me neither.
They're pissed now. To cards! To the cards! Yeah, there's no way I can lose. There's just no way. There's literally no way. I've got 5 plus 8 plus 5 plus 3 plus 3.
Hi.
Yeah.
Had dreams too. What?
Woo!
The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers!
The irony.
Wait, hang on, that's not even what...
Oh, Cons. Please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariyu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no reason we can't get Maloney to come around and keep the show going.
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? When Jillian does her curtain call, will they applaud her? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
I think it'll be fine.
We're right here with you. We'll
Yeah.
watch it to the end.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist. Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth. Will applause continue after I take off the mask? I could always leave my mask on. You never know.
This is what fame looks like, when it's truly deserved.
Wahoo!
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly.
What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or whatever.
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine.
No, I'm Radio Rebel.
They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Marry you, explain yourself.
Wait, Blinny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this nonsense?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who weren't satisfied with the experience.
I hate having hyperhidrosis. I just got up to go grab something that was sitting on like a different desk in my room, and I slipped on the floor because I'm so damn sweaty. It's not even hot in my room.
I believe there should still be time to.
I'm
tweak my
pissed.
article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on
I'm
Jillian's
pissed and I'm also
performance
kind
and
of
the quality
embarrassed.
of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion. And I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Dude, I'm still embarrassed about what happened and nobody could even say it.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself. You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Listen to shockingly good podcasts.
That letter?
On the YouTube
I
Music
was the
app.
one who wrote it.
What?
Gina? So it was you?
Director, it's time for... Oh, okay. Weird energy here.
I think we came at a bad time.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even she wouldn't do something so stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just let this one slide?
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me, right?
True. True.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still, I was wrong to write that letter. I should own up to my actions, make it up to you in some way.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Huh? Backstage?
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, it'll give your older sister a chance to keep an eye on you and stop you getting into any more trouble.
Thank you, Lynette. Really, thank you so much.
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat, and I don't have to activate my energy-consuming modes all the time. Mariyu said she's a very promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older sister. In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore.
Yeah.
Freedom at last. Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others. I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on. Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
All right, wrong thing. One ending left.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success. At the expense of the art itself. You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her.
Lynette, I'm sorry!
Yeah, me neither.
Wait. But...
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Fleuve Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
Got it. Thank you, Lynette.
Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
It's nothing.
Here you are.
I just erased history.
Run off to. Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier. What do you think? It's group photo time. We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost Puppet Director's Edition. Okay, everyone, we all
That's actually called Director's Cut, I fear.
Hotel de Boer. So this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile? I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on. You two should be right in the middle. 3, 2, 1, smile!
Yay, cheese. Okay. Claim my 20 Primo Gems. Walk all the way over here to Story Quest. And claim. Do I have any of these that aren't done? No. And for these, I only have these.
Beautiful creatures. They...
There we go. Now I've got all these quests active, and I need to do them, but I'm not going to do them right now. I think I've been streaming
Be sure to
for
befriend them and cause them no harm.
3.5 hours. That's not even close to what I need.
Ad Astra Abyss. Thank you for completing.
Thank you, Catherine.
Ad Astra Abyss.
My, oh lord, my funds for Zhongli are coming along very, very good. 37 whole Primo Gems, and I'm planning on maybe buying some depending on when, if I get him, or if I don't get him. But that would require me, like, calling my bank to set up international shipping, or international paying, and I'd prefer to not have to do that. Speaking of which, how much longer? 1 day and 3 hours. So he comes out, like, when? Tomorrow. He comes out. No, he comes. Wednesday, maybe? He comes out soon. Well, he doesn't come out. He makes a rerun soon. And I'm planning on getting him. But I'm going to go. It was very fun. Bye-bye.